Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Some people feel after the election, the America we know will cease to exist. They predict currency collapse, bank crisis, domestic anarchy. Are political economic chaos situations on the horizon? We don't know what's coming, but we do know that we can prepare for chaos, hyperinflation, food scarcity, even domestic warfare by having some basic foods on hand. And we can do that by stockpiling basic foods in our prepper pantry and having just basic foods to get us through whatever short-term or even long-term emergencies come. Start with basic food in your prepper pantry that you can make meals for your family, and then look at having the foods that last the longest. But start with the basic foods that can keep your family fed on a day-to-day basis.
Being able to start each day knowing that you have something you could eat for breakfast, something you could have for lunch, something you could make for dinner, and even a few snacks. Doesn't that give you a lot of comfort and security knowing that you can provide those things for your family? So the very first thing you should do for survival food is stock your pantry with open and eat meals. Foods that require no preparation. You could open and eat them. You can serve them in a minute. You don't even have to heat them up. Nothing requires refrigeration. It's something to eat, to fill your tummy, to get you through so you can figure out what to do next. Start each day with breakfast. It can be as simple as some cereal and some shelf-stable milk. The milk that comes in these little containers, it's called UHT, and it is actually real milk that's processed to last in your pantry. And it can last for sometimes a year. I recently opened one that was 2 months past the date and the milk was still fine. It's not a good idea to count on foods lasting past their expiration date, but a lot of times foods are still going to be perfectly fine to eat. But try to pay attention to the dates and rotate your foods before that date expires. The date is by the manufacturer and it's guaranteeing that the food will still be good and fresh to eat. So don't throw it out just because of the date. Once you figure out foods you can open and eat for breakfast, think about lunch and dinner. It can be as simple as pouch meals. They come in all different varieties. You can find even things like the Hormel Completes. They come in ready to heat in the microwave dishes. Can't heat it up? It doesn't matter. It's already completely cooked. It probably tastes better heated up, but it isn't necessary. You can still open it up and eat it, and they come in all different varieties. My suggestion when you want to try a new food is buy one and take it home and try it. If you like it, go back and get more. Then you won't have wasted your food storage dollars, your grocery dollars, on foods that you don't want to eat. And it can be kind of fun experimenting with new flavors. You can even find pouches that are plant-based protein, that are organic, that are healthy for you. Go through the store, look up and down, find different things that appeal to you, and then try them. You can find soups in little cartons, just like the milk. I don't think these are designed to last nearly as long as soups in a can. If they have a variety that you want that comes in this type of a container, go ahead and get it. But pay attention to the dates so that you practice using these foods before the best by, sell by, or use by date. There's all different kinds of foods you can find in a can. Tamales, chili, ravioli, beefaroni. Find ones that you like. Chicken and dumplings, beef stew. You can find just even baked beans, and don't forget to look for bread that comes in a can. This is a very dense, full, and delicious brown bread, and you just open it up, out comes your little loaf, and it's really good. There are all different ways you can serve the brown bread in a can. I'll put a link to a video I made in case you want to see some of the ways that I like to use it. It's even good just with a little scoop of baked beans on top. Meat that comes in little pouches that's designed to tear open and eat. I've tried some of the different flavors. Some of them I like, some of them are not so good. So find the ones that you like. There's also some meals by Loma Linda. Loma Linda is connected to the Seventh-day Adventist Church because they lead a vegetarian plant-based lifestyle. Loma Linda has been making high-quality plant-based foods for nearly 100 years. Lots of them are very good and they're good for you. So you can find lemon pepper fishless tuna. I was able to find some Loma Linda Sloppy Joe, which is not meat, but it's great. It's already cooked and you can just serve it over some bread or crackers. And then I also found one that is a taco filling, and these are all quite tasty. Stock your pantry, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, cans of nuts, packages of snack foods like nuts and dried fruit. Find foods that you like, that your family enjoys eating, and stock up enough so you have several weeks of supply of food on hand. A lot of foods have pull-top taps, but not all, so make sure you have a high-quality can opener so that you're going to be able to serve this food. Get that can open and use it. You prevent hardships when you have a well-stocked pantry, and these are all great foods to stockpile now, because we don't know what the future holds, but we do know that hardships come to everyone. Sometimes we have warning that we know a storm is coming, such as a hurricane is on the way, but other times we have no warning at all. We have a power outage or an earthquake, and then it is what it is. You need to deal with it, and you still need to be able to feed your family and keep yourselves going so you can figure out what to do next. Once you've filled your pantry with just open and eat, ready-to-go meals that require no preparation, then you can add to your stockpile of foods that are simple to prepare. Think of foods that need limited cooking, that maybe you just even add water, and that they require just a small amount of preparation. And that can be mixes like mashed potatoes, muffin mixes, noodle mixes, rice mixes, pasta salads, rice dishes, macaroni and cheese. These require a small amount of cooking, adding a little bit of water, some preparation. These are great foods because you can prepare easy meals. A lot of times we will have electricity, we will have water, we will be able to do a little bit of cooking, and we don't just want to rely on foods that are just open and eat. So you want to have foods that you can turn into meals that you prepare. This second set of food would require a little bit of preparation. It would require maybe adding water and some cooking, but they're still easy meals that you could prepare on a day-to-day basis that your family enjoys and they're willing to eat. But before you just start stocking up, make sure you make a plan of how you're going to incorporate these foods and buy foods so that they're going to make meals. Once you've filled your pantry with several weeks of food, that's when you can really start stockpiling the longest lasting foods, the dried foods like rice and beans, pasta, macaroni, oatmeal, and all of the dehydrated foods. You can get them in little packages and you can put them in containers yourself. You can clean out bottles and jars and pop bottles, plastic and glass, and you can fill them up a little at a time. You don't have to start with 50 pounds of rice and 50 pounds of beans, but you can. And many of us have done that. We get a 5-gallon bucket, maybe add a Mylar bag, fill it up, get some oxygen absorbers, and seal the food up, and then we have it to last for up to 30 years or even longer. But a lot of that food is not something that we want to open and use on a regular basis, and luckily we don't have to. But if you keep it in smaller containers, it's easier to manage, it might be easier to store, and then you're more likely to rotate it because you know, oh, I've got some sugar, I've got some garbanzo beans, and these are things then that you can incorporate into your pantry and your everyday cooking. Another great way to have survival foods that you actually need are to buy them in number 10 cans. These are dehydrated foods. They're dry. They don't weigh very much. All the moisture's been taken out. They're dehydrated, freeze-dried foods that they're designed to last for many, many years. You can buy them from Mountain House, you can buy them from Emergency Essentials, you can get them from Augustin Farms, and even from the LDS Church. I like the Augustin Farms because I can find them at Walmart in Alaska and I can bring them right home 1 can at a time. The nice thing about the foods from the Mormon Church or the LDS Church is you can order them online and they come in a container, a box with 6 of them at a time. So when you see the price of the others, that's just for one. But when you see the price for the church foods, those are for 6 cans. So pay attention to what those prices are so you know what you're really getting. They can come as single ingredients, and you can also find some that are just add water and then you can make up entrees. So whatever you're doing, whatever your circumstances, stock up on food. Try getting the survival foods that you actually need, and then make sure that you're using those foods, incorporating them into your meals, rotate and replace them. Because if you don't replace it, you're back to square one, that you aren't prepared for whatever the future holds. Stock up while foods are readily available so you can provide for your family no matter what the day brings. If you liked my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might enjoy it, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.